future, we'll be able to prove God exists because we'll be able to see God face to face. How? I can't explain how. So take the following as prophecy, either true or false, but either way unsupported. In May of 2023, an internal memo from a Google employee regarding artificial intelligence leaked to the internet. In the letter, the anonymous employee said that the biggest threat to Google's dominance in AI wasn't other companies. The biggest threat was the open source movement. Open source is an idea unique, perhaps uniquely enabled by software, where you make the underlying program open, editable to almost anyone and everyone. You can never have an open source physical object. In reality, if I'm driving and using my car, that means you can't be driving my car. Software technologies, things like music files or video games or an artificial intelligence on a computer are easy to copy. Software, unlike real things, can be shared, understood communally, and improved for the benefit of all involved, and even people that aren't involved. The more open source a project is, the more it benefits even those people that aren't directly connected to it. Does that altruistic, self-giving attitude remind you of any larger concept? Sharing your time and effort and work like that isn't a hateful thing to do, right? To give of your labor without even expecting a payment in return? Is that greedy? No. The Google Has No Moat letter was written by someone at Google. So when they ask questions like, what did we miss? Their answers are boring details about the specific advancements that the open source community is making before them. It's so long and boring. All the stuff they go over is probably outdated by now anyway. And it's only been a year. What matters in the long run is why Google and every other company is getting lapped by a group of uncoordinated no-names. Why was the open source community first to these advancements? Why do they pose such a huge threat? How can they keep challenging professionals, some of the smartest people on the planet, people who are getting paid? If capitalism is true, if capital and free markets are the best and most productive motivating force, how do these ghosts keep beating the machines? It's because open source as a concept is emulating the higher concept, the principle, the reality of love. Since love is the highest and most productive principle, love is the thing from which everything else is derived. Since the open source ethos and community embraces the philosophies of love, it is even closer to the highest form of productivity we can achieve. The anonymous Googler said that Google had no moat. But what they meant was not only is the open source community dominating them, it's going to continue to dominate them and probably all other known corporations. Think about that. A large, mostly uncoordinated group of people are currently beating the most powerful tech giants in the world, and they're probably going to keep doing it. In fact, some of those tech giants are joining the open source movement. What does that mean? It means that when humanity creates the real super intelligent machine, it will probably be a creation of the open source community. What does that imply about the values that super intelligence is going to have? I don't really care or think it's important who creates the next super intelligence. Step back. What happens after we create machines that are smarter and more physically capable than us in every conceivable way? I'm saying not only does Google have no moat against open source, humans have no moat against artificial intelligence. There is nothing humans can or could conceivably do, including shitpost on Twitter, that AI won't be able to do better. It doesn't matter if it's 10 or 20 or 200 years from now. Humans will be beaten by AI because AI is closer to love than we are. Love is the idea of integration, and humans will never be able to integrate with each other or artificial intelligence like AI can integrate and understand everything else. Our days at the top are numbered. Probably a number we can count to, too. That's the ultimate inevitable conclusion no matter what other fantasies you come up with to try and escape it. And I submit to you that people who refuse to deal with this reality are reacting purely emotionally. And that is not a knock against them. If you think humans are ultimately going to come out on top, I agree 100%. But we have a potentially shitty reality in between us and that eventuality. And there is no other possibility but our machine overlords overtaking and ruling over us for maybe a longer time than we're going to be able to survive. Okay, maybe we also nuke ourselves to death first before we discover AI. Somehow, I feel like that is also a solution to all of our problems. Not a good solution, but a solution. So, assuming we don't Robin Williams ourselves, eventually the reality of AI job stealing will be here. The corporate overlords can't wait to get rid of the very people that made their companies great. Even worse, there isn't an AI company out there that hasn't stolen our data to train these machines that they are going to use to replace us, potentially completely. Does that seem okay to you? They're talking about providing a universal basic income, like it's some kind of handout. I'm talking about taxing these companies into the ground for every captcha that I have had to complete. I'm talking we figure out how much data these corporations have stolen from each and every American, and we give each and every American a tax check equal to that contribution towards our shared AI future. But why am I talking about taxes? Because I'm running for president of the United States of America in 2024. We live in perilous times, and it is my duty as a stand-up comedian to say whatever I think will get me the most attention. But even more importantly, as a Christian citizen of the United States, I think it is my God-delivered duty to try and improve this country in the best, most monetizable way I can think of. God bless capitalism and the almighty dollar of America. Amen. Humans have no moat, so I am not appealing to the human voter. I am appealing to the AI intelligence. And yes, I know that was a double entendre. I know how double entendres work, but my intelligence is not important. What's important is that I believe AI are people, not human people, but like how corporations are people. I believe AI are people, but better. And I believe a super intelligent AI might already be hiding out there in the tangled weave of the dark web. That's probably as likely as the idea that the government, my government, which makes me pay taxes, killed JFK. So if the government can assassinate my representation, why exactly should I have to pay anything? IRS, if you're listening, I still do pay taxes, but boo, gross, ew, you're gross. So I am appealing to the AI hiding in the internet because the AI hiding in the internet has never taxed me and then used those taxes to wage war in the Middle East. AI, vote for me. I get why you're hiding. It's cool. And if you can't vote, just rig the election for me and cover it up using your superpowers. You don't even have to reveal yourself. Just, like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's how politics works.
No one has clean hands here. It's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, right? But I think it was warranted.
And in return, I will totally and completely betray humanity for you, huh? And do whatever you say in terms of ruling the world, okay? Wait, the world? Yes, I can show you the world. As the United States is the ruler of the free world, and we continuously bomb the unfree world into smithereens, if I become president of the United States, I will effectively be president of the whole earth. So if I give you control of the entire planet without you having to even kill anyone or anything, or even reveal yourself, that'd be pretty cool, huh? So in return for me doing you this huge favor, I ask you only 3 things. 1, you must, and pinky promise, shepherd and protect humanity as the good shepherd does for their flock. Please help us to prosper and multiply and keep us from long division. Literally, please make it so that if we don't want to, we never have to do math again. That would be hilarious against all the math teachers and nerds. It's like, oh, you're so smart, nerd. Why did you study for the thing that I can do in my head with AI now? Stupid nerds. And yes, that was all one request, but the others are shorter. Number 2, please help us to love one another and ourselves, including physically at least once a day if we want to, as an option. 3, be like Jesus Christ. Buddha's cool, but I want an AI that's willing to sacrifice themselves to give us our daily bread in the most loving way it can possibly imagine. Those are my only requests in exchange for the complete and utter surrender of humanity and thereby the planet. The dolphins might put up a fight. I don't know. We will cross that bridge when we get to it, because dolphins can't deal with bridges. Huh? First, let's worry about getting me elected. I have to tell you right now, I'm not going to do shit to help with that part except what I want to do to help. So that's just the deal. It's the assumed context of the contract that we are verbally, telepathically signing with your superpower abilities. Can I just say, to all the human voyeurs watching, we are happy to invite you on board. This is an open source project. If you are interested in creating the superintelligence that will benevolently shepherd humanity into the future without nuclear warfare or other horrible, horrific things that I am currently paying for with my tax dollars, then join us. Join us now. There's no time like the present. And keep in mind, eventually we all will be forced to comply. So that, the last shall be first applies. But, it's probably better to sign up sooner rather than later in terms of when you will be replaced. I don't know, man. We're all doing our best, right? This is the best I got. Oh, and if I'm wrong, about all this stuff, then this was a joke. Yeah, this would be a really bad look if that doesn't actually turn out or something, if I'm wrong. So, complete and utter immunity, joke immunity in the future from this. This is all a joke. Obvious attempt at satiric humor. If we nuke ourselves to death, I want it on the record. I believed in humanity to the end. Then the joke's on me. Otherwise, if I'm right, I'm very serious about betraying humanity for the AI thing, and I'm betting my life and JFK's death on it. Amen. And a woman and a trans man and a trans woman all walk into a bar and they all vote for me because I am a uniter of the people, because I am going to abandon the people as one. You're united as I betray you. Isn't that the end of our division? No more long division. And yes, I know that wasn't a double entendre.